Kenny Boy says, "Why what's in the water in Florida, bro? Y'all, Florida, for everybody in Florida. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Y'all niggas weird. You niggas weird. You niggas weird."
All right, I heard, says CC. What's going on, CC? All right, I'm playing this from, what's my man, Dr. Richie channel. It's going to be more, it's not funny. No one was hurt, by the way. No one was hurt. It's more just crazy to me. I want to laugh at it more than take it seriously, but it is a serious issue.
Florida deputy who shot an unarmed handcuffed man has resigned. Here's the video.
Oh shit, can I play? I can play this. No big deal.
Just fired! Just fired!
Now, if you guys didn't hear anything, yeah, I love my state of Florida, but damn, it's some wild shit, man. I think, well, yeah, Florida does have its incidents, man, but I think it's America, bro. That's why I don't trip. It's fun, like, to poke fun to the people's location, but this shit happens everywhere in America, bro. But if you guys didn't, he claimed an acorn hit his squad car. This motherfucker.
Shots fired! You know.
And here's the thing, I see somebody already said it in the chat, and that was the next thing I'm about to bring up. I've said this before. I don't like law enforcement. I think I've said that today. But one of the reasons why I don't like law enforcement amongst the list of many is that I personally believe that law enforcement they purposely hire incompetent people. He did do a role, AD. They purposely hire incompetent people without thinking about the consequences of those incompetent people's actions. On a serious note. And that goes to the point that someone just said, and the next point I was going to make about the second officers. If you didn't see that shit, one officer, there's somebody handcuffed in the backseat of that car. Scary ass clown says MRL. Facts. He emptied his clip because this stupid motherfucker, an acorn hits his squad car and he thinks he's shot. He says I'm hit.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I'm telling you, Daniel, I don't know if y'all cops over there in the UK is as stupid as American cops are, bro. But it's bad over here, man. Yeah, shit like this. So then what happens is, and this is one of the problems I always have with policing, is that you can have 5 officers on a scene and none of them are taking any time to think. They'll just follow what the next officer does without questioning, as if they're robots. And that's one of the biggest problems I have in law enforcement, is that they'll just do what the next cop do without any of them thinking, without any of them taking 2 seconds to fire up their fucking brain cells. And I said all that to say this. The first cop starts emptying the clip in his own squad car, and then the next thing is the officer right next to him, oh, she does the same thing. It's like, bro.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Then she does the exact same thing, man. Fucking hell, bro. And don't even get me started on how much, not only are they incompetent, also a lot of officers are scared motherfuckers. And I get that. I don't want to come off as if I don't understand that officers are human and people have fear. I get that. But y'all let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm right. Put a 2 in the chat if I'm wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. But I think that there's certain careers that you can't be a pussy.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
If you know you a pussy, it's certain jobs you can't have. And one of those jobs is a fucking officer. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong in the chat. That's fine. But there's certain jobs where you just can't be a pussy at, man. You cannot be a pussy. If you know in your heart of heart, if you a man, you know in your heart of heart, if you a pussy ass dude. You ain't got to say it in the chat. You know in your heart if you are. If you are, you can't be no motherfucking cop, bro. It's just that simple, man. It's just that simple. Let's get back to it, man. It irritates me, man. This shit was kind of funny though, but it's not. It's not.
What? I'm in the car. I was shot through the car. Oh.
You can't be no pussy being no cop, bro.
I might have hit my vest.
And one thing I was thinking about right here, because I watched the entire, this is them showing it obviously on the news, but I watched the entire clip. It's like a 4-minute clip. And I was just thinking, the whole time he's just behind the car, he's breathing, he's regaining his composure. But I just thought like he was so lucky that, well, that nobody walked through the street during this time. Because I wholeheartedly believe he would have shot somebody if they just walked past him because his adrenaline's pumping, he just lost his fucking mind because he's a coward. Right. Telling you, bro. Thanks, D. Scott.
Got no movement in the car. Marquise! Marquise!
It might have hit my vest. I don't know. I'm not.
Fucking idiot, man. So what's going on, Trending with Shares? I see you.
What it do, baby?
Channel member for 3 months. Appreciate you, Sharice. She says, I saw this video on DJ Ghost. Wow, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And imagine how lucky the dude is in the back seat. Again, for the people who haven't seen that clip, there is a suspect handcuffed in the back. Where he shot at, he felt the acorn hit. He immediately shot at his car with the suspect. I was thinking, I'm putting my conspiracy hat on. I was thinking that was a planned hit. I'ma just y'all know, Coop, I'm not much for conspiracy theories. I try to keep them to a minimum, but I'm thinking he was paid to take that man out. Allegedly. Hashtag don't sue me. What you got from downtown? This motherfucker acting like Tackleberry on Police Academy. That's a fact, bro. We said idiot at the same times as RM. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I was watching something else, somebody else reacted to it, and they called this shit Police Academy too. It don't seem like it's real, bro. Appreciate you from downtown. Cujo in that $2 super chat. What the fuck kind of COD Call of Duty shit was it? I'm hit. That's what I'm saying, bro. Poolman313 says, you know if you're shot or not. Yeah, and I've never been shot. Hold on, I'm just talking about this. We talked about this one time. A whole bunch of y'all ninjas been shot. We talked about this one time. And a whole bunch of y'all been shot before. So y'all know, y'all gang-banging ass people. But I've heard maybe like your adrenaline pumping and things like that. Or you don't know, that's what people look and see if they got blood or something like that. But this dude just a fucking idiot. It was on purpose at G-Man313. I ain't fighting you for that, bro. I'm not gonna fight you on that, man. Let's see. Salute to you, Cujo. Salute to Project Leroy back in the super chat. Can't reform this type of behavior from cowards. Facts. Talk to him.
Goddamn right.
You know, man, this subject, man, is just, oh man, irritates me because I don't really like police, but it's from an aspect of there's multiple layers of problems. It's not just one problem where you have the goddamn white supremacist soldiers. It's not just one problem. There's layers and layers of problems. Another one was just being cowards, scared of their own fucking shadow, man. And that's okay. And that officer got to resign, bro. We're gonna get into the story. He got to resign and walk away. You couldn't do that shit if you was a civilian and just pull out. If Project Leroy is in the streets of Detroit, and he can't just dump a clip of me and be like, okay, no one's here, we're all okay. No.
Access denied.
It's crazy, man. Salute to you, Project Leroy. Let's get to the story.
You try to navigate so that you can make some sense of what you just saw. Put up the picture full mass. This is going to be a hell of a story. Deputy Jesse Hernandez.
That's another painting for some action.
An acorn for gunfire and fires at an unarmed suspect.
And you know what's funny? I never even looked at the suspect picture. Of course, he had to be a brother. And it's a miracle because they emptied 30 rounds, bro. It's a miracle. He didn't get hit once. That's the crazy part.
Name Marquise Jackson.
See the ebony policy?
It all began at about 8:42 a.m., November 12th, 2023. This was on McLaren Circle. When the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office received a call of a vehicle driving around honking its horn. So that's disrupting the peace, according to them. And they say this has been happening since 3 a.m. A woman then called the sheriff's office, accusing Mr. Jackson, 22 years of age, of taking a vehicle and sending threats via text message and phone calls. According to the sheriff's office, Jackson arrived around 9:09 a.m. before he was detained, searched, handcuffed, and placed in the rear of Deputy Jesse Hernandez's patrol vehicle. The young woman then completed an affidavit for the stolen vehicle. She reportedly told deputies Jackson had a silencer, but she wasn't sure where it was, and that he had more than one weapon. When Hernandez was returning with the victim's rights form for the woman, other deputies had communicated they found her vehicle. Hernandez then approached the passenger side rear door of his patrol vehicle to do a secondary search of Jackson when he heard a pop sound, which he thought was a gunshot and believed he had been hit, according to the OCSO news release. Per the recently released body cam, Hernandez yelled, quote, "shots fired," multiple times before falling to the ground, rolling, and began firing at the patrol car. Sergeant Beth Roberts also began just firing into the vehicle. Why? Because somebody else is shooting. Let's all shoot. There's no threat. Let's just start shooting.
That's what I'm saying, man. And salute to MRL in the chat. And I know a whole bunch of y'all are vets in the chat as well. They teach us that shit in the military, regardless of branch. Know what you're shooting at before you just fucking start shooting, man. And that's the other thing I don't like about police officers, man. Project Leroy made a good point right here that I wanted to pin it. It's another thing. Like I said, man, it's layers. People just think police need to change. It's so many layers to this shit, man. Right here, Alexander X, he'll get hired by someone else. I've talked about that. They call them gypsy police, gypsy cops. A cop will fuck up in Dalton County, Illinois, get into some bullshit. Then I don't know, I'm not from Illinois. I don't know if Dalton and Chicago is in the same. I don't think. I think Chicago's, is it Cook County? Somebody let me know. But they'll move from one county to another county, do some bullshit and move to another county. Salute to, if you guys remember Tamir Rice, the 12-year-old kid who was shot in Cleveland years ago. The 12-year-old kid who was murdered by police officers years ago. They rolled up on the scene, saw him playing with a toy gun, and murdered his ass in under a minute. At 12 years old,
thanks for the tip.
Life wiped off this fucking planet at goddamn 12. The reason that irritates me so much because there was a time in my life, and I spoke about this before, but I was so into police shootings, I would just talk about this shit all day and night, man. But I realized after a while, it was kind of driving me crazy, man. It was just making me angry. So I had to stop doing that. So I had to actually pull back from that. But Tamir Rice was one of the cases I followed. And not only had the cop that shot him had been fired from a previous police department, he was a Cleveland officer then, before he was in Independence, Ohio. I remember all this shit off the top of my dome. And he got fired from that department because his lieutenant said, and I remember it said, this man is too unstable to be a law enforcement officer. He was fired from Independence, Ohio, hired by fucking Cleveland. Dalton is also Cook County. Thank you. Yeah, I was just using it as an example. Not only did the officer that killed Tamir Rice was a gypsy cop, moved from another department after failing to comply, who didn't meet the standards at a previous department, but the goddamn dispatcher, that was called, the old man called into and telling the situation too. The old man even said, "I don't think it's a real gun. I think it's just a toy gun." The dispatcher had been fired from a previous police department as well. This gypsy cop shit. They fuck up in one town and move over to another like it's no big deal. Get hired again. That's another one of his goddamn problems, man. Let's get back to it, man.
Started shooting because he also perceived a threat based on the actions of Officer Hernandez.
Under a second, yeah.
Here's the thing. Jackson escaped uninjured. No weapon was located. Thankfully, these guys cannot shoot an unmoving target.
No shit.
In their own car. Witnesses said they heard what they thought could have been a muffled gunshot, according to an OCSO news release. 3 News 5 reporters listened to the body camera footage. They did not hear the sound described. They didn't hear a damn thing.
Cook County, yeah.
They did all kind of amplification, heard nothing. So what did the deputy hear? Interviewed after the incident by Michael Hogan, an investigator, the deputy said he had definitely heard a suppressed weapon firing. Quote, "I felt an impact on my right side, like a upper torso area. My legs just give out," he claimed. When shown images from his body cam footage of the acorn hitting his car, Mr. Hernandez posed a question. Acorn? Mr. Hogan confirmed. Acorn. Yeah. Question if he could have mistaken the sound of the acorn for gunfire. He answered, quote, "What I heard sounded like what I think would be louder than an acorn hitting the roof of a car, but there's obviously an acorn hitting the roof of the car," end quote. Jackson's statement. In a public Facebook post on the 7th of February, Jackson recalled the day he could have died. A few months later, I hear an officer scream. A few moments later, I hear an officer scream, "I'm hit. He's armed," Jackson said in the post. As soon as that was announced, multiple shots were fired at me while I was stuck in the back seat. All I could do was lean over and play dead to prevent getting shot.
Yeah, another excuse that they tried to put on initially, following what Trey 979 said, he had a silencer. There was an acorn. I thought the acorn because he had a silencer. I thought, what the fuck is this Call of Duty? He gonna shoot you with a silencer from the back of the police? Bruh.
In the head, end quote. Jackson said he was scared to death.
God.
And I knew all I could depend on was God. I ignored everything and prayed.
That's facts.
Windows were shattering on me the whole time as bullets continued flying across me. He said he was blessed not to get hit by bullets or physically be hurt. Quote, but mentally, I'm not okay. I haven't been the same since. And I don't think this feeling I have will ever change. Deputy Hernandez on the left, all right, on the left, who per the Telegraph served 2 tours in Afghanistan as an officer, but did not see direct combat, had been with the OCSO since January 2022.
Don't try to pull that PTSD bullshit. Don't try to pull that PTSD bullshit, especially if your ass, because I was in Iraq as well. I didn't have any combat action though. I don't be up here capping like a lot of people be doing. I was in Iraq and Afghanistan. I was kicking indoors. I wasn't doing none of that shit. I'm sure some people in the chat that was. That wasn't cool. But don't miss me with this PTSD bullshit if your ass wasn't actually there seeing combat. Stop the cap.
He resigned on December 4th, 2023, right before the new year. Sergeant Roberts on the right has been with OCSO since May of 2008. Both were current on resistance training and firearms qualification, according to the sheriff's office. The OCSO's office professional standards conducted an internal probe and determined that the use of force was not objectively reasonable and that he in fact violated policy regarding excessive use of control to resistance. The investigation also determined Roberts' use of deadly force was objectively reasonable, and she was exonerated because according to her, well, I was shooting because he was shooting. And so that's what we're kind of trained to do. We're trained to just shoot when another cop shoots.
Y'all hear this shit? She was cleared. Well, look like she got stripes too. She got stripes, so she's a sergeant. What is that? What is the fuck is that, a kangaroo in her hand? That's some bullshit. Empty a whole clip at nothing, MRL, at nothing. This irritates me.
Put him up, full mask. Buck stops with him. You're talking about the sheriff here, Eric Aiden. All right. The OCSO's Criminal Investigation Division reviewed the incident after initial investigation for any possible criminal charges. The sheriff's office also reportedly requested an independent review by the First Judicial Circuit State Attorney's Office, but ultimately no probable cause for criminal charges was found, which is insane, by the way. So the police investigation of their own person says, okay, this guy violated our policy, violated protocol, utilized excessive force, and decided to start shooting at a human being. Now, it doesn't matter that he was unsuccessful at killing him. Okay, let's put that aside. It doesn't matter that he was unsuccessful at killing the person because the same action could have caused the death of the individual inside of the police car.
Dr. Richie's 100% right on that. But then also, bruh, he could have hit random civilians, man. Random people just walking around. You going out to your car to grab your goddamn Gatorade and you get a bullet up the ass because of this bitch over here.
You see, if the person would have died, do we then say, okay, well, that's obviously at least involuntary manslaughter because of the extreme negligence demonstrated by this officer? You know, negligence can be so extreme that it is determined to be criminal. You do not have to engage in mens rea, which means I'm formulating a thought in order to commit a criminal act. You can simply engage in conduct that is so extremely negligent that you should have known that it could have caused damage to another person.
That's a fact, man. Let me grab these super chats real quick. We gonna move on. This is gonna upset me. And C. Brooks just made a great comment that I'm gonna address in 1 second. Let me grab these super chats here. What's going on first, man? What you got, bro? Where's Black Lives Matter? Whatever happened, well, I know what happened. Those motherfuckers, yeah. By spending money on bullshit. That's a fact first, man. That's a fact, man. Salute to you, First Man Gaming. Salute to Cujo back in the super chat. What you got, Cujo? Chicken Little, the sky's falling ass bitch. Falling bitch ass. Salute to you, Cujo. Let's see. Skinny Boy back in that super chat. Let's pray a bird doesn't shit on the roof. Right, bro? Right, man? Or he's sitting back and the mosquito come buzzing in his ear. Man, he gonna kill everybody, man. Salute to you, Skinny Boy. Salute to Marcus Gibson. What you got, Marcus? How about a registry for these corrupt cops? Yep. No doubt, man. We're going to move on. We're going to move on, man. This upsets me, but I want to say a couple things. One, because here's the thing. People talk about complaining about something without giving solution is just bitch. You know, at the end of the day. And that's regardless of what topic you're discussing. With that being said, I've always felt that police need, similar to what the homie Marcus has said, police need a national registry. Just like the same thing, if you were, let me give you guys an example because I might be articulating this poorly. If you're a nurse or if you're a lawyer or a doctor, you have a nursing license, a medical license, something that's given to you by the state, but it doesn't just transfer from state to state. I can't go from Michigan. I can't be a doctor in the state of Michigan and then transfer to Ohio without, going through the whole entire process of getting licensed over in that state. It should be the same goddamn way. If you were a law enforcement officer, you can't be a piece of shit murdering people scared of your fucking shadow in Okaloosa and buttfuck Florida, wherever the hell they at, and then move over to Georgia, then move over to Mississippi, then move over to Tennessee. No.
Access denied.
A national registry. Law enforcement should have the same exact thing. I've been saying that shit for years, bro. You 100% right. You shouldn't be able to just move towns and be a gypsy cop because you on some bullshit. Okay, I am clear. Thank you, RM. And then the other point right here I wanted to make, and we're going to move on. We can get a little bit, I don't want us to get too dark in here, but C. Brooks right here, bro. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I brought it up, but I don't know if we actually showed video. Did y'all see this shit from a few months ago? I believe it was in, if not Colorado, New Mexico. It might have been Colorado. I can't remember which one. If not Colorado, New Mexico. But did y'all see this shit? You practice law without being barred in the state. Exactly, bro. Exactly. What about the officer who left the suspect in the patrol car on the train track? Of course, the train came through. Did y'all see that shit? Let me know if y'all seen this clip. We can go play it. I mean, I don't plan on playing it right now, but if we have some time, we can play that clip if y'all have not seen this. It was officers, like I said, I could be wrong, New Mexico or Colorado. They arrested her, I remember she was Hispanic, woman for something. They pulled her out of her car, and again, it goes to the incompetence of the police. They're in the middle of like the fucking desert, and there's a train track. Of course, the cops park right on the train track. She doesn't. The civilian has more sense than that. They pull her out of the car or whatever. I think she might have had a gun illegally or whatever. Put her in the back of the squad car that's on the goddamn train tracks. We need levity. That was upsetting. Yeah, I'm gonna level it out, Ari. I'm gonna level it out. I saw that bullshit, bro. They move. I'm telling you, man, these cops are not only are they disingenuous, they're dangerous, they're cowardly, but they're the biggest thing. They're racist on top of that, but they're incompetent. I even watched the clip. I said, why would he park right there? They put her in the back of an SUV. You haven't seen it? Derek Williams, I'll show it if we have time. They put her in the back of a squad car, and they're in the desert, in the middle of nowhere, right there, parked on the side of the road. They put her in the squad car that's parked on the train tracks in the middle of the night. A fucking train came through and sliced that goddamn SUV in half like a fucking sandwich, bro.
Move your car! Stay back!
Patrol car was just hit by a train. Dispatch 346, did us medical emergent. The suspect was in the vehicle that was hit by the train.
I'm pretty sure it was Colorado or New Mexico. I think it was one of those two states. They put her in the, man, what? 80 Blackman. They put her in the back of a squad car and a train came through and crushed it. Somehow, some way that woman did not die because the car was done. Again, in that situation, there's 4 or 5 officers standing around and nobody had the fucking inclination, hey, maybe we should move this squad car, even though it's the middle of the night. It's not likely that a train come through, but let's move the squad car because this is a potential dangerous situation. No, they all standing around looking at each other. And then the thing on top of it was that woman, I don't know if she was injured, but she wasn't killed. But they was pissed, talking shit after she got hit. It's crazy, man. We got time. I'll definitely play the clip. It sounds like a hit. 10 plus, get the fuck out of here, 10 plus. I should time you out for that bullshit.